We're here right now with Suzanne Craig of the New York Times. She's written a terrific new book, Lucky Loser, How Donald Trump Squandered His Father's Fortune and Created the Illusion of Success. She's done so with her colleague, Russ Buettner. But let me, before we get into the book, ask you your thought on this. I mean, he literally just said that, and Kamala Harris just agreed to this debate. It came out about an hour and change ago. He says he's not going to do it because people have started voting. What do you think?
I just think I'm sort of tired of just even trying to make sense of statements like that. I mean, a lot of people still have to vote. I mean, I think if you really look under that, I would say that the first debate didn't go very well. And he seems to be the only one who thinks he won it. And I think he doesn't want to get on the debate stage with her again. I think she was really effective at getting under his skin. Oh, yeah. There was one question, obviously Russ and I heard because of our keen interest in his money, where she, was needling him about the $400 million that he inherited. And he came again and he said, that number's wrong. And he dived into his up from nothing hardscrabble story. I did it alone, and it was just
Why does he do that? Because he wants to say, oh, I'm a self-made man? I mean, because his dad is referenced in the title here, how Donald Trump squandered his father's fortune.
Right, and we have documented it through documents that we have from Fred Trump's finances. We were able to get a hold of more than 100,000 pages of information from Fred Trump through it was Mary Trump, because she had been in litigation with the family. It had gone into discovery. We've been able to document this 7 ways to Sunday. I think he really wants this hard scrabble story, and it sounds good, right? I did it myself, and he's even said it hasn't been easy for me. I mean, and then I think it's effective, and the reason that we care so much about it, there's so much more to this book. It's really a sweeping
super
narrative,
dense, yeah,
that covers 100+ years, and hopefully we take it. It's quite a page turner. But the reason that we were really interested in that is because that's sort of that's the lie that he sold to the American people in 2016, that he'd created this empire by himself, and it continues to come up even in recent weeks during the debate.
I'm going to get to the media's role in being somewhat complicit, if you will, in creating him. But you report that on his tax returns, it shows that he lost over $1 billion. Wait a minute, $1 billion between 1985 and 1994? Right.
That year is incredible, or that 10 years when we look at it, because The Art of the Deal came out that year. That year that he was saying to America, and he was writing a book, that he was this deal maker, and that nobody could touch him, and he was going on shows, and he lost that year, I think, $40-some million, and in that decade, he lost more than $1 billion. And Russ and I were able to, we had all this tax information from that decade. That was one of the stories we did.
Not during his presidential years.
No, but what was interesting was, because you sort of, people think, okay, well, businessmen, they lose a lot of money, but we were able to get access to an anonymized taxpayer database from the National Archives. And we went in and we were able to determine that in a few years, he lost more money than any other individual taxpayer in America. Like, this isn't just some business guys lose money. Like, he loses a lot of money year in and year out.
And you've got all the facts to prove this. You've got the paperwork, you've got the documents, the numbers add up.
We come with the receipts. And
Let me ask you again about the media. As I mentioned, I mean, the fact is that he was on, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. He was on 60 Minutes and all. But when he made The Apprentice, which Mark Burnett produced, he was tanking in all of his other endeavors at the time. So is it The Apprentice that created the man, the myth, the image that we hold of Donald Trump now, the one that permeates still to this day? I mean, how much does Donald Trump owe to Mark Burnett and what he created?
It's huge. It's not to say that Donald Trump wasn't on the scene before. He had been on those Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, that wealth porn that we know about. He got on them because he had the accoutrements of wealth. But when we think about it, Mark Burnett really, in an editing bay with very skilled hands, with producers, they reinvented him. They showed up, his producers, at his office, and they thought, they're going to be doing a game show, and working for Donald Trump was the prize. And they come in, and the carpet smelled, and the furniture was chipped. They had to create an entire new set, but it was more than that. They had to create a businessman that was measured, that was smart, the person that didn't exist. They had to do that, and they did it. They made him the prize. Their job was to make him look, and I'm quoting one of the people that we talked to that was on the show, to make him look like royalty. And one of the fellows said, well, we weren't, Richard Attenborough wasn't narrating this thing. Like, it was a game show. And it's unfortunately, they call it reality TV. It was not reality. But they remade him. And Russ and I call that Apprentice, the opening scene, the greatest political ad of all time.
Yeah. Well, I only got this book a couple days ago. Look how much I've read.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I can't wait for you to get through it.
I'm going to finish this thing, and we'll get together and chat all about it even further.
Definitely.
Highly recommend it, everybody. Lucky loser, as you describe it. A page turner. Thank you, Sue Craig.
Thank you.